Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, sir. Just we'll wait for a few minutes as a lot of attendees are joining in now, and I wholeheartedly warm welcome everyone who is joining for this today's podcast. So let me start, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
just
good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Power Talk brought to you by Saudi Life. Today, we are truly honored to welcome Mr. Rajiv Kumar Jaina, a trailblazer and in Indian manufacturing and digital transformation. With over 4 decades of hands-on leadership experience, spanning from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited to Zodiso. Yeah, so spanning from HAL to Bajaj Auto and now the founder of Zodiso Technologies, Mr. Jaina has been at the forefront of innovation, strategy, and industry excellence. He has led IT, production, and digital transformation initiatives across Indian top industrial organizations, from shaping a shop floor efficiencies in HAL to driving SAP-based manufacturing intelligence at Bajaj Auto, and now advising futuristic transformations at various organizations. Rajiv Sir has done it all. Armed with the academic credentials from premier institutes like IIT Madras, Zaim, and NIT Roorkela, he blends a technical depth with the business acumen like few others. In today's session, get ready to explore the challenges of global tariff dynamics, India's strategic roadmap in a semiconductor race, and most importantly, real-world insights from the trenches of manufacturing leadership. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Rajiv Kumar Jaina, a visionary, a mentor, and a powerhouse of knowledge. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Namaste. And thank you for your very nice or kind words. I hope I'm audible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
The
You're
topic
audible to
is,
everyone.
it's very close to my heart. I'm seeing so many people now. Sambeet, Sakshi, Vikram, Nakshi. So good of people have joined.
Yes, sir.
So
We
it will
have
be it's a good
we have
talk.
attendees joining from various corners of India as well as some joined from other countries also. So it's good as this topic is such exciting. I truly know that attendees and many of us like me are excited to know more details about the topic which we are choosing. So it will be good. So just to get started. The first question that I would like to ask you is, what is a tariff in a simple terms? Because nowadays it's many times people are listening to the word. So excitement starts from something knowledge about those things. So we can start with that.
Tariff is nothing but a tax system, just like a
Mhm.
toll tax we pay while going in the road from one place to another place. We go through a toll tax and pay a tax.
Right.
Similarly, if somebody is selling something in a country from outside the country, that
Mhm.
means an exporter. Okay, somebody is exporting to a country, he has to pay a tax, and this tax can vary from country to country, from sector to sector, from product to product. And this is used for various purposes. The moment a tax is put, the cost goes up. So who pays for that? Definitely consumer who is buying pays for that, or the price goes up, margin comes down. Partly the cost is absorbed by the importer. The importer actually is selling inside. Importer is buying it from outside and selling inside, right? And the tax is being paid by the exporter, but the same tax he's trying to extract from the price. That's it, in simple terms.
Yes. So in very quick time, you explain about tariff as well as how it's impacting Indian consumers or any consumers across various. So during your time at HAL or at Bajaj Auto, did India face any similar kind of tariff challenges in those times?
Okay, thank you. This is a good question. Actually, my career is into two space. One between 1982, that is early 80s, till late 90s, 1998. I was part of a defense sector, manufacturing fighter aircrafts. Specifically to say, this is a MiG engines, turbine engines I was manufacturing. And and thereafter I came to automotive for Bajaj Auto. Another 2.5 decades there, manufacturing motorcycles and scooters. Now coming to this entire journey from 80s till late 20s, okay, or early 20s. So this whole period, India had a lot of transformation. Okay. The first 4 decades, that is 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. These 4 decades, our GDP was 2% to 3%. We used to call it Hindu rate of growth because we got the freedom from 200 years of colonial this thing, and we wanted to protect our industry. And entire industry was government initiated, all public sectors with the PHEL, HAL, SAIL, all that stuff. But they continued for 4 decades, and we had socialism as our main frame of economic development in Nehru era. Rightly, wrongly, I don't want to get into that. Madam Indira Gandhi and her father Nehru, they nurtured that economy under complete government control. So that time the tariffs were kept high purposefully because we wanted to protect our industry. So the tariff used to be as high as 300%, 150%. So when I was in a chair, because it was in the defense, it was a selective, reduction of tariff for us because we have to be good in our defense. But at the same time, we wanted to indigenize. Today also, Modi wants to do a lot of indigenization. Indigenization rate was that time also. So because of indigenization, extra taxes were levied internally, separately, excess and all. So we had to really navigate through a lot of licensing and tax system for buying capital goods, buying raw materials like titanium and other things. So that was the story till I was at Bajaj, at Shell. Okay.
Yeah.
1991, Manmohan Singh started as Prime Minister, started liberalization. By that time, our tariffs have come down from 300% to 50%, 80%, basically 80% to 50%. So by the time I joined Bajaj, it was around 50%. Okay. So a lot of reduction had happened, but still it was high compared to globalization standards. Okay.
Correct.
So during my period in this thing, gradually we moved away from 85, 50% to almost single digit 99%. So that helped us for our export growth and import substitution and imports from China. For a certain period, we imported from China alloy wheels, so we could get it at very low cost. At the same time, because we reduced tariff, other countries also reduced tariff, so we could export to Latin America and other places. So definitely it helped us. So my journey and India's journey is that way. We have come from 300% to around single digit.
Yes, that's the reason actually I asked, because India's economical journey and your experience is almost comes hands in hand. That's the reason actually I thought to have this question. That means whether we as an Indians face similar kind of challenges during that time. But we often hear about the tariff war. Is it something quite different from regular trade regulations? So what's your take on that?
Yes. Whatever I told you, it was very publicly knowledge. Okay, other countries know India, what kind of tariffs it is putting, on which sector, which product, and all that. But the moment if India fights with somebody geopolitically, then India raises the tariff suddenly on that particular country very high. That country retaliates back on India. That's called war. It's a trade war or tariff war, and it creates tensions. It creates sudden increase in the prices. Okay, it disrupts the supply chain, and it in general brings down the growth, GDP growth, and economy. That's called trade war. Sometimes trade war you get into hot war, fighting.
Yes,
real fighting.
yes. So, but how often we hear the term this tariff war now? Just now you told that means about the tariff war, but why we are seeing sudden increase in this tariff war globally in current scenario? What driving this? That means.
Okay, it's a good question. I have to go to history a little bit. 1945. World War II ended and USA was on the top of world. So USA, it was a unipolar world, except Russia. USSR was there as a counterweight, and they had a Cold War, but more or less it was predominance by USA. Okay, and they had dollar as a reserve currency. So, so they found reducing tariffs by other countries is very good. So that so they reduced themselves the tariff so that they can import a lot of stuff and they can print dollar and import all the stuff. Okay. So when they reduced tariff, they set up a WTO, World Trade Organization, and through that they created a rule for the whole world. So all others have to reduce tariff. Okay. So
Okay.
we also reduce tariff. They also reduce tariff, and the globalization happened, and our prosperity
Growth.
started. And but we did not reduce immediately. As I told, in the first 40 years, we did not reduce much. We kept it very high. It was completely government controlled, socialistic structure. So once balance of payment crisis happened in 1990 and Manmohan Singh wanted to reform, a lot of licenses went off, a lot of tariffs came down. We allowed others to enter, but still we selectively kept certain tariffs. Okay, like in the auto sector, we put high tariff on luxury segment. Beyond a certain price, we put 100% or 150%. Similarly, somebody brings only CKD, uh, completely knocked out, or SKD, semi knocked down, then there are different tariffs. If you bring only components, then there are different tariffs. But if you are manufacturing internally in India about 70%, then the tariff comes down very drastically. So we started layering the tariff in such a way that we allow competition to come in and yet give protection to our industry. So it was a very clever way. We allowed our economy to grow and used our tariff to as this thing. But then what happened is right now that peace is gone. So 75 years of peace from 1945 is gone.
Mhm.
So the conflicts have started between NATO and Russia, the Ukraine-Russia war, then Israel and Middle East, it's always in the boil, then Iran and Israel. Okay. So like that, so on and so forth between USA and China, taking Taiwan as a point of contention. Okay. Because of such geopolitical tensions, now they are weaponizing tariff. And suddenly Trump and Trump 1.0, when he came, he started this tariff war. He
Mhm.
increased tariffs of steel, aluminum, and auto sectors. It was basically steel and aluminum that time. Now, in the second avatar, when he has come, he has gone ahead and the Liberation Day he calls, when he had put tariffs on all the countries around the world. Okay, even the penguin country is also taxed today by him. So he's a deal maker. So he has now got into this bilateral tariff discussions for geopolitical ground level.
Advantage. Yeah. So, but how these challenges which are globally happening about tariff policies, how this could hamper Indian MSMEs particular? Because
Yeah, MSMEs are always vulnerable. Okay, they don't have much of money with them, right? So
Mhm.
they for where they can make profit. So if I say, for example, I take automotive. Okay, auto component manufacturers are they belong to MSMEs. Okay, they have a good opportunity to sell in Europe and USA because they have by and large outsourced their entire manufacturing to China. And we are a China one plus strategy, China plus one strategy. India also is being a destination for importing auto components. Now,
Correct.
MSMEs who are very good in manufacturing, okay, and they can actually compete in the world arena. If the tariffs are low, in the countries of import, wherever they are exporting to, they make a lot of money. But all of a sudden, this tariff war happens and they increase auto components tariff today. Then suddenly, these guys, MSMEs, they don't know because they have put so much of capex into this, whether how long this uncertainty is going to continue and how much of loss they have to bear. They don't know whether their expansion plans also fall into uncertain status. That's the problem.
Yeah. But while challenges exist, there are always two sides of everything what is happening elsewhere. So can India actually benefit from this current global trade disputes or
Yes,
realignments? So is it
yes,
there in scope?
Yes, very much.
How you look at it?
But government has to participate. Okay. So for
Okay.
example, currently the conflicts are happening across zones, okay, between USA and China, between China and you. For example, if you take EV, China and you, they are fighting with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it's opening up to us for a
Okay.
free trade. USA and India are in huge, negotiations are going on, and every day we keep hearing, they are almost clinching the deal, almost zero tariff between each other. Maybe 10% on us, because, Trump will always try to extract this extra 10% on us. So when two other countries are fighting, we can take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Of these bilateral kind of situations where WTO is no more relevant because WTO cannot handle such disputes across the country fully. So you take advantage of the other two complete conflicting situations. So you enter into that, and you are preferred, like friend, friend shoring. So you get certain benefits like that.
So
So
as we are closely coming towards entire discussion about tariffs, and now we focusing about opportunities. That is what I asked initially. How we are looking after India chances of getting benefit out of this. So talking about opportunities ahead, let's shift towards gears towards the future now. So in your views, are India's biggest opportunities in manufacturing space today? How exactly you are looking at it?
opportunity for manufacturing in this
So
tariff.
then there is a semiconductors, a lot of things are coming. So we are talking about manufacturing space. How you look at it?
See, manufacturing now has become a catchphrase for every country because without manufacturing, you will remain vulnerable all the time. In the peacetime, what happens is if somebody else is manufacturing and I am not manufacturing, I am good in something else. Okay, I can keep buying from him, but I earn my money through consulting or IT services and other things. But
Mhm.
today, if I continue to do like that and tomorrow I am attacked or the exporting country stops selling to me because of high tariffs, or
Mhm.
then sanction on me, then suddenly my economy goes for a toss. Okay. So manufacturing has become a definitely a national security aspect. Now, we are at 30 to 16% of our GDP as manufacturing, and we
Mhm.
have because of high tariffs earlier, we remain an extremely closed economy. And because of a closed economy, you do not, your productivity is not good, your quality is not good. Only when you open to the competition, you try to become good in that. And off late, post 1991 and post 2010, between 2010 to 2020, we have now opened up our economy so much that manufacturing has become the catchword. Government have understood that unless they come forward and help manufacturing, so PLI scheme is there. In
Mhm.
semiconductor also, we have got Semiconductor Mission Initiative, SMI. So
Okay.
we are getting of government initiatives for that.
Yeah.
And our goal is by 2047, uh,
Mhm.
Viksit Bharat style, our manufacturing contribution to the GDP has to be more than 25%.
Very nice.
And that's
Very
not way to go, but then we are there. We are there to take
correct.
that challenge
So
and go for.
so as you just spoke about semiconductors, as you know that semiconductors are such a crucial component. So, but how semiconductors are transforming modern manufacturing? Could you just throw the light on that?
Okay, I'll tell you what, more and more goods are becoming electronic products now. Now,
Correct.
it's not a product now, you say that not an electronic product. Okay. We lost our chances of being an electronically sufficient and efficient country twice,
Mm-hmm.
80s and 90s. Okay.
Oh.
80s, we used to make PCBs, and semiconductors were not so evolved.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, companies like Texas and Fairchild came to India to set up shops here, but we did not allow them. So they went to Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward today, okay, all semiconductors chips that is being produced are used in almost all electronic devices, whether it is a mobile phone or a computer or a automotive or a air conditioner, name it anything, you need chips. Okay. And going forward, also artificial intelligence needs higher order chips. But unfortunately, India never manufactured chips. Okay, India always had a good talent pool to design chips, semiconductors. So, so we have 2 lakh engineers who are actually designing for the companies like Qualcomm, Texas, Nvidia, Intel, but we do not manufacture them. But
Mhm.
now that government is taking has understood this is going to be not secure for us unless semiconductors are not produced in this country. Even defense also needs semiconductors, missiles and aircraft. So they need semiconductors. Unless we are self-sufficient on semiconductors, we cannot go forward. That's why we have started already uh, Tata Advanced Systems, Tata Electronics, and Vedanta wanted to start, but they are now looking for a different partner. And there are small other companies, startups also, but it's a very capital intensive industry that started. Very, very
Mhm.
oh, ambitious, audacious targets are there, and we are
Mhm.
going to achieve. By 2030, I think first semiconductor fab, uh, 28 nanometer kind of, fab outputs can be made available to Indian industry.
Yeah, so it's quite good to know that once India is truly ready to manufacture its own chips. So what you said, but in recent time, it's been heard like about a global silicon shortage. So what triggering this? That means, are we really witnessing this silicon shortage, or is just an
Yes, yes.
yeah.
No, no, see, what was happening is we were manufacturing, we allowed all the multinationals to come here, like LG, Samsung, Sony, Toyota, Hyundai, and Maruti Suzuki, all of them, automotive sector, electronic sectors, all of them were actually manufacturing their auto and electronic devices here. But all of them were importing chips. They were importing chips from Korea, Japan, US, and largely from China. Okay. Peace time, no problems.
Mm,
Difficult times, tense times, then people recognize, I told you, the China stops giving you, they put embargo, they put sanctions, they make policies against you. Even yesterday's trend is today's enemy. So that's created a problem. So it was accentuated during COVID. What happens
mm,
during COVID? Suddenly, the demand for computers went up, work from home. Okay, and all of them need chips. Okay,
chips. Correct.
and chip manufacturers are very few. They have only hardly few companies. Taiwan, Chinese, Japanese, Korea, USA, handful of companies, four, five of them, they provide to the entire world. And
Mhm.
suddenly, the demand went up so high that you have to wait for the chips to come. Acha. Another thing happened. Demand for two-wheelers and four-wheelers came down, automotive. So demand
Mhm.
for chips from the auto sector went down. After the
Correct.
COVID, it suddenly the V-shaped recovery happened, it went up, and they went to again to put orders on those small number of companies. They said we are fully booked for 10 years now. What would you do?
Oh, oh, correct. So,
Who
but
will see?
as today in this webinar, we have more than 300 plus attendees joining in today. So for and many of them might be from MSME. So for MSMEs listening to this today, how can they plug into the global semiconductor value chain? So what is we were discussing. So
See, always, you have some opportunity if things are happening at your doorstep. Okay, if government has put 75,000 crores now. Okay,
Mhm.
50%. Okay, another session is coming where they are putting more than 1 lakh crore. Okay, when Tata's and other companies are now setting up big fab units
Mhm.
cannot operate itself. It needs an ecosystem around. Okay, that is ecosystems of chemicals, specialty chemicals. Okay, and you have very nice, clean shop floor to be managed. You need proper tools for fabrications. You also need packaging and testing equipments and facilities. So these are low cost, low capex kind of investments where MSMEs can enter into. They can get into testing shop. They can get into assembly shop. They can get into providing these specialty chemicals. You need pure water. They can get into refining process. So all the ecosystem can also be created through these MSMEs. Always like that. Like in auto sectors, the components are always MSMEs, right? So
Yes.
they are.
So as I told just now, we have many attendees here. So as they're listening to our conversation since last 25 minutes, if any one of you have any question, you can drop the message. You can raise a hand so that we can take that question too. So prior to wrapping up the thing, so today's last topic very close to young professionals, that is about career and future readiness. What's your advice for freshers entering the manufacturing or engineering sector today? So
Very nice questions. I'm myself as a mechanical engineer, production engineer. Okay, I worked for 15 years in very high quality, aerospace engine manufacturing software, and then set up a greenfield plant of mass production for Bajaj Auto at Chakan. What I have
Mhm,
seen that you can no more remain just a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer. You have to be a
mhm,
combination of many things. You have to be a mechatronics. Okay, you have to know PLCs, CNCs, programming. You have to know data. You have to know networking. Little bit. You should be able to learn a little bit of Python. You should know what is artificial intelligence. You should have a wholesome understanding of how a manufacturing can be enabled to be competitive in the world. Just simply a software engineer is not going to be helpful. And also simply a design engineer is not going to be helpful. You have to be a person.
okay. So, as many of our young friends are joined today, so one of the question coming from our attendee, and let me read out for you. The question is coming from Rohit, and the question is, what are the most common mistakes youth make when they start working in manufacturing? So, as they're knowing you are so experienced in this segment, so this question comes from one of the attendee. Thank you, Rohit, for asking this question. Yes, sir. So, your views and common mistakes youth do
You
in
make
manufacturing.
engineering is that you keep on doing the same thing day in day out. Okay. Suppose you are a software engineer or supervisor or a department manager, you would go and look at what is the today's production schedule, how much production has happened, and efficiency and all that stuff. But you leave aside what's the cost of production. Are you competitive or not? Okay. Is there any way that the productivity can be increased? So you also have to be very creative with that. Is this the right process? So should it be substituted with some newer process or not? How do I keep my uptime of my machines much higher? And what data I should be having, what kind of, alerts and exceptions I should be having so that, I am proactive about the productivity under my
Mm.
nose. And what is the quality status today? How can get into, Six Sigma kind of situations there? Am I having TPM practices correctly? Is digital data is showing my TPM practices proper? Is there the digital doing between the physical and digital? So I cannot remain purely mechanical and electrical. I have to able to embrace
True
this
by
way.
all means. So it was amazing. So as we come to the closing part of this session, Rajiv sir, thank you very much for these incredible insights and
Thank you.
straight from the heart and the frontliners of what in Indian manufacturing of your experience. To everyone listening today, whether you are a seasoned leader or curious students, today's session was a rare window into the evolving of world trade, tech, talent, and transformations. Let's keep building the future and let's make in India together. So
Thank you.
thank you very much for joining. Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody. It's my first session. We have plenty things to discuss in the future. Whole idea is to see that we share ideas amongst each other and get into the creative and productive and progressive mode as we go further. Especially focus on manufacturing and digital footprints in the manufacturing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.